There we are. Okay, let me start the music and we're just going to have a good time. So here we go. Audio up and here we go. Can you hear it?
I can hear it. I like it.
Okay.
So you wanna
So you
be
want to be dance with me, John W. Let me see those moves.
with the insect,
Hanging with the inset
looking real
or the
I like
insole.
it.
cool and fine.
Who is this?
Asking you
This is Serge Hoffman, formerly SAP, who is singing my lyrics. He wrote the music and he's singing the words. Bop, bop,
Oh,
bop,
cool.
bop, bop. There we go. And we're just, I'm not a lonely girl. I'm here with my new bestie, John W. I'm Bonnie D. Happy to be here. This is two, T-O-O. There are two of us, but it's two. I'm a two saucy dame, and this wonderful gentleman here to my side, I don't know which side everybody's looking at, is a two cool dude, John W. John, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great, Bonnie. Thanks for the invitation.
I'm absolutely delighted. Rumor has it you got a special event coming up
I do. I
tomorrow,
do.
Saturday. What's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
what's the
Yeah.
event? Come on, let's do an
Yeah.
announcement.
Getting married. So I'm pretty excited. Yes, on Saturday.
Wonderful, wonderful. As my people say, Mazel Tov. That means everything good. All good wishes. So, John, I want to welcome you with a special introduction I wrote with the help of my virtual assistant. Her name is Sylvia Speed. You may have heard of her. Everybody has one, but I've named mine, and she and I converse in French. I want you to know. This introduction is in English, so I think you'll enjoy this. So, you know us well, we believe, Bonnie D and John W. too, seasoned in life, and we love what we do. From LinkedIn's halls to social's embrace, we love sharing insights in our savvy people space. Now on We Dish, we're here to play, lightening up life in our uniquely fresh way. I'm welcoming John W., a very cool dude I'm proud to call my friend. Here's my rhyming intro, then more details he will lend. The story of John W., a lifetime of studies in health. When Bonnie D speaks with John, she acknowledges and knows that knowledge is wealth. Here we go. In Richmond's heart, John W. grew, the youngest of eight with a vision true. His parents from Jamaica's land so bright worked day and night to build their light. A nurse, a driver, investors bold, they taught their kids work hard, be gold. Their B&B they ran with seafood grand, and real estate grew at their command. For John W., college was certain, no doubt in sight. VCU called, and he took flight. After sisters before him, he made his way. He's still mentoring students there today. At Kellogg, how you like it so far? We good?
Uh, it's really cool.
Okay. At Kellogg, John W. Sharpened his insight keen. Healthcare and business guided his scene. At Stanford, he tackled AI's role with medicine's future as his goal. Not one to stop, he forged ahead. Harvard called, public health, John said. And his parents' fight with type 2 pain showed him change must break the chain. Medicaid first, he shaped the plan, bringing care to every clan. Billions spent on nursing stay, he found them homes for better days. Data and tech soon called John's name. John, John. AI and health, he changed the game. Google Cloud and Verily's shine, driving science beyond the old line. Beyond his work, John W. roams the world. New Zealand's wonders, Bali's swirl. Dubai's bright lights, Brazil's embrace. Each culture brings him a deeper grace. A mentor, a writer, a foodie bold. He loves barbecue, Chinese, Italian cuisine, we're told. Tech excites John W. too, and sports delight. And comedy shows keep his laughter bright. John W., a personality bold and true, blending health, AI, and a vision new. A leader, a thinker, a cool dude right, shaping tomorrow with passion and might.
I really love it. I really love it.
I'm glad. Let me finish the intro. We're here on We Dish, chatting on life's score, culture, food, music, and oh, so much more. Join us live or on demand, day or night. We won't be here, but you can find us. That's what on demand means. And enjoy our dishing with shared delight. Meet us for real in our live streaming glow. Comments are welcome. Just play nice, you know. We Dish, two saucy dame and cool dude too. Bonnie D and John W. dishing on life's fun. Pour vous. That's for you in French. John W. officially welcome to Redish. I hope you enjoyed that. That was my gift to you.
Thank you so much, Bonnie. I loved it.
You're welcome. I'm glad. Did I miss anything? Is there anything you want to add to that?
Um, I think you got most of it. I mean, it's cool just from beginning to, well, I hope it's not the end.
No, 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 no. You're going to come
From
back and do
beginning to
part two.
now.
You do part two with me later in the year, and we'll add to it.
Yeah.
Anything critical? I think I got all your education and your various roles and your passions and what you do and the kind of food you love and what your parents do. And if I missed anything, I'll go tell Sylvia she missed something. I think we did okay.
No, no, I think it was great.
I'm
It's fun.
glad. Okay, let's talk about music. I promised music. What kind of music do you like that makes you feel like a cool dude, that defines you as a cool dude? What's your cool
Yeah.
dude music? John, go.
I really love reggae, Afro beats. I like hip hop as well, pop music. I'm kind of, there's a lot of genres I enjoy. But yeah, I would say Afro beats, reggae, hip hop, pop, R&B. It's like my
Give
go.
me your audio's breaking up. I'm not sure what's going on. It's crackling a little bit. So we want you right in front of that microphone. Are you on? You want to just talk into your computer?
Yeah. How about that? I just turned it up. Is that
That's a
better?
little better. Just give me a little project a little bit more so you're
Okay.
a little bit louder. That'd be great. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, I want a couple of specific songs. What are some favorite
Oh
songs
yeah.
of yours?
Yeah. I mean, if we're talking about let's say R&B, I love John Legend, right? And so, I'm about to get married. We're probably not gonna play All of Me just because, that's been played at every wedding for the past decade. But that is one of my favorite John Legend songs, hands down, right? I think if we're talking like, get like a really great vibe, just to get people on the dance floor, I'm thinking Afro beats like Burna Boy. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but
No.
super popular Afro beats artist. And Afro beats is cool because it's similar to reggae. It is all about, the beats, the vibes, the culture. So it's very similar. And if you want to get very specific, it's similar to dance hall, which is like a subsection of reggae. And again, it's all about just having a good time, right? And so I'm a fan of it. Big fan.
And you're a very, very studious, very committed, very serious young man. And I got that from the bio you sent me. You're very committed to your passions of health and mentoring and care. I'm glad that you're mentioning music that's fun to dance to. I'm a former dance teacher and I was teaching
Oh,
disco to hundreds of people years ago. And
wow.
Latin and ballroom too. So I'm anybody who's a fan of dance music is I'm a fan of yours. Any one more song you want to share with us?
Yeah. There's a song by an artist called Fireboy DML. Again, he's an Afro beats artist. And he had a song with Ed Sheeran, actually. He did a remix last year. I have to share it with you. You'll love it. But the name of it escapes me right now. But I have to share it with you. I think you'll love it.
Okay, I
Yeah.
would like that very much. Just so you know, my songs, I've condensed my songs, my Saucy Dame songs from things like Groovin' the Young Rascals, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, Cyndi Lauper, Hit Me With Your Best Shot, Pat Benatar, Dancing Queen, ABBA. I've had the time of my life, Bill Medley from Dirty Dancing, but I've condensed them into the shall we say, the discography of Donna Summer, who was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And when I was teaching and doing dancing exhibition dancing with my disco partner years ago, many years ago. Donna Summer's songs now resonate with me and I love them then. She works hard for the money. I,
Yeah.
I have hot stuff, even though I'm not walking on the street. Hot stuff, baby. Anyway, I've been called that for the right reasons, not the other reasons. On the radio, hey, I've had a 25-year career in radio. What used to call, I still call this radio. No more tears. Enough is enough is enough is enough. Well, I've had my tears. Last dance. Used to dance, not so much anymore. I dance in the kitchen. I put on the electric slide. I have Alexa play it, and I dance just for exercise. Not too often. Should do it more. I feel love. I feel love. Love. That was Giorgio Moroder. That was that driving machine music in the background. That synth. And Heaven Knows, the suite from MacArthur Park Suite. Heaven knows just how much I love you. I did a disco Hawaii contest with my partner back in the day to Heaven Knows, and we came in third. We didn't know, John, that the woman who came in first owned a dance studio. There was no restriction on professionals in supposedly this amateur contest, but we came in third and we were thrilled. So those are my songs. Let's talk a little bit about
That's pretty cool.
thank you, your creativity superpower. What you got? Do you love it? Do you not love it? Do you even know what it is? I think
I
I
think
do.
I, yeah, I think I know what it is. I've always been a generalist at heart. And
Hmm.
so at each of the organizations I worked at, even if I was in a particular function, et cetera, I always would prioritize cross-functional collaboration. And it was natural for me. So I think the creativity superpower is two things. It's I love to write and express myself, and I've been writing op-eds for a very long time. But I think it's this very similar kind of root cause of that really comes back down to just being curious and loving to share and work with people throughout, throughout different phases and functions. So I think it's those two things really.
Does your curiosity ever get you in trouble?
Yeah. I mean, I think, it's funny. I think only in the sense where you just have to, I think you gotta be able to stay focused too. That's the big,
Hmm.
that's a big thing. So I think if you let it just run unbridled, then you can run into mischief, right? So I think you get better with it over time. And so it's like anything else, balancing it.
I have a Monday afternoon show called Read My Lips: Cool Conversations with Creatives, where I speak with a panel of people from all walks of life, any profession, anything, and I tell them, and sometimes they're not aware you are a creative, and they say, "What do you mean? I don't sing, I don't dance, I don't paint, I don't write poems." And I say, "But you created your life, you created your business, you created whatever it is you do." How you
Yeah.
look, how you talk, how you answer the phone, how you cook, how you listen to music, how you live. And they say, nobody's ever called me creative before. And they're delighted to hear that. But we come up with themes, and curiosity is one. Curiosity leads to creativity. We also talk about courageous creativity. Do you think that applies to you being courageous in what you do?
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I've always been willing to try new things, right? Whether that's moving for, new opportunities, whether that is trying new industries or sub-industries within healthcare. And that came natural to me. Whereas I think that in some cases, for some folks, it is the opposite. Like they embrace stability and they embrace and they're very risk averse. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think that to your point, there is a courageousness that you need, or certain courage you need to try something new. So yeah.
I agree, and that's why we're here because I had the courage a couple months ago to say I want to talk to cool dudes. Come be with me, talk with me. And I think you're my 21st or 22nd cool dude have been on the show in a matter of about 4 months, I think. So one or two or three a week, and I love it. I love talking to interesting people, so that's why you're here, and especially with your wedding coming up, I'm so honored that you're making the time. So let's get to it. What do you eat for breakfast that powers your day? Is it something you eat, something you drink? Come on, give us a little insight here. What moves and keeps John W. grooving? John Wilson, by the way. I will mention your last name once. Go ahead, John.
I gotta tell you, and this it's just coffee. That's all I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do coffee, and then I'll usually like you do intermittent fasting until lunch. And lunch is like a real meal, but breakfast is always coffee.
Okay, then let's go to the next topic is coffee or tea. You just answered coffee. Do you like brewed? Do you like instant? Do you roast your own beans? Do you like cappuccino, latte, espresso? What's your favorite type of coffee? Do you make it and how do you make it?
Yeah, so I typically make it, but it's just an espresso. So I'll do, either espresso, be in my Nespresso, or I'll do a full cup of coffee. So I'll do that at home. But if I'm feeling like, you know what, I deserve a treat, I'll do Starbucks and I'll do a caramel macchiato. So I always enjoy
Mm.
those.
I can't do caffeine anymore, but my favorite is Starbucks mocha decaf skim light whip. And then I tell them, skip the light whip, give me the full on whip. I like the whipped cream. By the time you sip it, it's just blended in and all that. I don't do that too often, but I can't do caffeine anymore. So my drink of choice these days is decaf herbal peppermint tea. And I have a special method. I take a mug with something written on it that I like, and a collection over the years, of course. I put filtered water from the fridge in it, about an inch from the top. I microwave it. I know this is horrible. I microwave the water for about a minute and 30 seconds. Then I put the peppermint tea bag in, usually a Bigelow. I like their brand. And then I just raise it up and down, and I microwave it for about another 30 seconds. Take it out and let it sit. Leave the bag in. If it's too hot to drink, I put an ice cube in it. I know this is absolutely sacrilegious here to tea drinkers. And then I'll drink it with whatever I'm having for lunch or a piece of candy. Oh my, did I say candy? Yes, I did. And then When it's done, I don't throw it out. I don't remove the bag. I fill it up with water from the fridge and I put it in the fridge and I let it sit there
Oh,
overnight. And then I'll have it
interesting.
cold the next day. No sweetener, no lemon, no milk cream, nothing. And I'll keep that going during the second day. And
Hmm.
it's slightly flavored peppermint water, not strong, just slightly, and it's
Hmm.
refreshing. And then after the second day, I'll get rid of it and I'll clean the mug and I'll start all over again. So but you can't go near me with caffeine. I used to tell waiters in restaurants, John, years ago when I realized caffeine, I couldn't, period. I just flying, you'd peel me off the ceiling. I'd say, I'd like a decaf cappuccino after dinner. And they'd say, okay. And I'd say, listen, write your personal phone number down on the napkin here. If you make a mistake and bring me full caffeine cappuccino and I'm climbing the walls at 1 in the morning, I'm calling you. I don't care who's just sleeping with you. They were so scared they'd bring me a special cup of cappuccino and it was marked CAP dash no caffeine or something like that. And they would say, I put a label on it or a star or a blue spoon or something. They were so scared. Anyway, that's how I got away with that. So there we go. So
It's too
question
funny.
for you. I just added this question to the list of things to talk about. I think you'll be good for this one. Three things you bought. Let's go one thing. Your favorite thing you've bought or made for yourself that brings you the most joy. Is there something you invested in, something you made? Talk to me.
Oh, that's a good question. I always think the best thing you can buy are the things that you use over and over again, and that you say, "Wow, I can't believe it didn't cost 5 times." You know, I gotta tell you, one of my favorite things. This was a gift actually a few years ago. Was a popcorn machine, like a legit wheel, almost like carnival style popcorn machine.
What?
It was amazing, and I loved it because I love popcorn. So I would use it like every week and make popcorn at home. So I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Do you still have it?
I do not have it. I got rid of it about a year ago. Yeah.
Why? Why?
I was moving and I would have had to break it down and all this other stuff and then put it back
Oh,
together and I was just too lazy about
is there another? I
it.
can't believe that. Is there another popcorn machine in your future with your
Yeah. Oh
bride?
yeah. Yeah, I do want to get one. I want to get a small one though that's just countertop. So similar in terms of the whole thing, but just countertop. Because this one had the wheels, the whole nine. You could push it, right? And this is just a countertop, and that way I can put it in storage. I'm not using it.
Okay, question for you. How do you have your popcorn? Do you salt it? Do you butter it? I used to put
Oh
cream
yeah.
cheese on mine sometimes. Butter, do you put the butter? Do you melt the butter? Do you put just a slab of butter? What do you do?
So
What's the
I would
secret?
use, yeah, the secret for me was using coconut oil, right? And that will give you a buttery flavor, but it's not really butter. And then you would use something called I can't remember the name of it right now, but basically it includes salt and includes yellow coloring. So it gives you the color you need and it gives you the salt you need. And so between that and the coconut oil, it's perfect. So I put the coconut oil, I heat it up, put the coconut oil in, let that heat up for maybe like a minute and a half. You don't want to do too long, you don't want to burn it.
Yep.
Then you put in the seasoning because you don't want to burn that either. And
Mm-hmm.
then you put in the kernels. And then you wait like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and you got a full thing. It's amazing taste.
So you add the melted coconut oil and the seasoning to the kernels, and then you pop it together. Correct.
Well, you put it in the popper. So the
Right.
popper gets hot, right? Then you add
Right.
you add the oil, you add the seasoning, then the kernels come last. And
Wow.
now they're hitting hot oil and it's already seasoned oil. It's perfect. Amazing.
Wow. I
Yeah.
never in a million years expected you to say that. You're the first cool
Yeah.
dude I've asked that question. My favorite thing is probably something very, very silly. I bought red suede on suede boots with a little thick, chunky heel, and I wear those when I'm drumming. I'm a drummer, and I haven't been in a
Wow.
band in about 2 years, but they're my red drummer boots, and I get a lot of comments. And I wear them to the supermarket. I wear them to the hairdresser. People, I love your cool boots. Well, they have meaning to me. And what's funny is I found them at TJ Maxx and they were on sale, something like, I don't know, 29, 39 bucks. I liked them so much, I wore them down, the heels down, and I was living in Durham, North Carolina at the time. Well, to get heels, you don't have shoemakers on every block who will put
Right,
heels on.
right.
I had to drive 45 minutes to a major mall. I brought in I had two pairs of these. I think it cost me $50 for heels on the two pairs. These are just little booties with a zipper that come up past the ankle. These are not
Yeah.
full. It cost me $50 for two pairs of heels, and I had to drive back an hour to the mall to pick them up. So years later, I decided I liked this brand, which was discontinued. So I went on all of the resale sites and I bought
Hmm.
four more pairs. I have one which is black suede on suede. I have one which is like a blue with silver and orange and shiny. I have one that's red and no green, red and yellow, I think. And I have five pairs of them now, and they're sitting on the
Wow.
shelf because I'm not drumming anymore, but I do wear them everywhere
Yeah.
I go. And those were one of the fun, cool, saucy things that I did for myself. And even in the supermarket, the checkers will say, "Oh, I love your boot." Well, they have accents here. I'm in Tennessee, so I love your boots. I say thank you very much, my drummer boots. And
That's
oh,
really
you're in.
cool.
I've never talked about that before, but as long as we're talking, one more question before we go to our stories here. We're doing great on time. Movies, TV, what's your favorite genre? Drama, fantasy, action, musicals, romance, mystery, comedy, sci-fi, thriller, war. Any favorite actors or actresses you'd like to share with us?
Ooh. I like a lot of the genres you mentioned, but I gravitate to documentaries, suspense, drama, comedy, sci-fi. Big sci-fi fan. So recently, I'd say like Dune comes to mind. Loved the Dune series. Now you could argue maybe that's not sci-fi, maybe it's more fantasy. Fine, but that series was amazing. It's still going, and of course, it came from the books. And then I also love, in terms of actors and actresses. I love, oh, real quick, I love the comic book stuff, right? So I'm big on Batman, big on Marvel, that kind of thing. And then favorite actors, I'd say Matt Damon comes to mind. You know, amazing, amazing, amazing actor, and I think he's underrated in a lot of respects. Um, I
Why do you think
think,
why do you think he's underrated? What do you think it is?
it's interesting. I mean, I think he's only won one Oscar, and I think that was
Okay.
all the way for Good Will Hunting, which was many
Mm,
years ago, right?
what a
And I think
movie
that,
though. What an
yeah,
iconic, it turned into an iconic classic. Everybody talks about it,
amazing.
right?
And I think he and Ben Affleck won for writing it because they wrote the screenplay.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even think he won for acting, right? I don't think he's won a Best Actor award. And
Hmm.
yet he's been in so many iconic movies, like whether it's called The Martian or even what was it? He was in The Departed, right? He played an
Hmm.
amazing role in that. So he's one of my favorites for sure. Yeah.
If I told you that Spielberg or one of the other major movie producers wanted to do a movie about you, what would they call it and who would play you? What do you think?
Oh man, that's a good one. Uh I'd love for Jamie Foxx to play me. Because
Okay.
he's a heck of a lot funnier than me. And
I think
he's
you're
I
doing very well.
and I think he's a great actor, you know?
Okay.
So I think Jamie Foxx, what would they call it? Oh man, that's a good one. I don't know. Um,
You think about it. Think about it.
yeah, I
Well,
mean,
after we do our wacky stories, we'll talk about it. I've thought about the same thing for me, and I think it would be something silly like she loves to talk, something like that, or Too Saucy Dame. Maybe that would be it, or the
that's a
uh,
cool
the
title.
the saga of
Yeah.
a redhead, not Rita Hayworth, something like that. And I've been watching a new TV series, a sitcom, and to me, they really need to be funny for me to continue with them. And believe it or not, Reba McEntire started a new show a couple months ago called Happy's Place, and it's about her inheriting a bar. And the characters are the people who work in the bar with her and her friends, and it's her father's restaurant with a bar. And amazingly, when they're doing the scenes, the patrons in the bar in the restaurant seem completely oblivious. They're real people to what's
Hmm.
going on with the cameras moving around and these conversations and the sides and all of that. It's really funny. And there's an actor, I can't remember his name. He's been in a lot of detective shows. I shame on me. He plays the cook. And he's her boyfriend in real life. I'll think of the actor later. And all of a sudden, a woman appears, and she turns out to be the unknown child of her father who had an affair with the woman's mom, and
Wow.
nobody knew. So she has to bring this girl who is a psychology major, and she never lets anybody forget it, into the life at the bar. And she's got a gentleman of Indian descent. I think he's a Cree, and he is with a very, very deep voice, and but he's funny as heck, and
Hmm.
he makes very small comments. He's a very good-looking guy, and he's had many movie roles. And then they have the guy who's OCD, who is their accountant, and all he does is sit there at a laptop and makes very strange comments all day. And then Peterson, what's her name? Her name Melissa Peterson, the actor, the comedian, is the bartender, and it's a
Mm.
blast. So, getting back to it, I think I would want Reba McEntire, who's a redhead, to play
Yeah.
me in my
Yeah.
movie.
She's a good actress too. I
Oh,
mean,
she's
so
wonderful.
talented. She's so
She's
talented.
she's funny, and her timing is so good. Uh, Rex, I can't remember his name, the name of the actor who plays the boyfriend. Anyway, it's just a fun show, and I thought recently, if I had to have somebody play me, I would want Reba with the accent and
Yeah,
all
I can
to
see
play
that.
me as a saucy dame. Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. So, you got a couple of wacky stories to share with me, or you want to go on? You want to show anything, or would you like to? Because I can let you share visually, or you want to just talk about them?
You see stories. What
The
kind?
wacky, say what? This is our say what
Oh,
segment.
say what?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk. I want to talk about Steve Jobs a bit, right? I
Okay.
saw an article
Sure.
the other day saying it was I think it would have been his 70th birthday,
Mm-hmm.
and we lost him what 2011, I think it was somewhere around
October
there.
5th, 2011, the day of my first radio show for SAP, which was called Coffee Break with Game Changers. October 5th, 2011. I will
It's
never forget the date. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that it's been almost 14 years. I
Oh,
mean, that's crazy. And how much more he could have accomplished, even though he accomplished so
oh,
much. That's,
oh.
taken so soon. That's so to me, it's really sad.
He
Really sad.
changed the world. He said people don't know what they want. I'm going to show them what they want. It's not tell me what you want. It's I'm going to tell you what you might want, what you think you might want. Do you do you know? I have a question, a trivia for you. You may not know this, John. Do you know what Steve Jobs' favorite license plate said, what it was?
Mm. I did not know that.
I'm going to share it with you. There is a California law that says you do not need a license plate on a vehicle if it's less than 6 months in your ownership. So he replaced his Mercedes every 6 months on a new lease and never had to have a license plate.
That sounds like a Steve Jobs kind of thing.
Doesn't
It
it?
really
Doesn't
does.
it? I did a birthday shout out to him on my, well, in memoriam, if you will, on my Monday night show. I do celebrities past and present and social media stars. That's a whole other story. And Steve Jobs came up because of his recent birthday. And I learned a lot of trivia about him. But think of the iPod, think of the iPad, think of the iPhone. He changed our lives.
Yeah,
He didn't just invent something, he changed our
right.
lives.
Absolutely. And change the
Ab-
industry, right? That's
Oh,
the amazing thing, right? So yeah, that was really sad to see. But
and what?
I also think though, honestly, Bonnie, I also think that when folks pass, especially when they pass young, it's very sad. But I'm a fan of looking at the spirit. How do we keep that spirit in an enduring way? And then just keep as a life lesson for future generations, right? And I think there's always an opportunity to do that. So
We're doing that every day. I'm a diehard Apple fan, and I will tell you that I bought my first Apple computer in 1988. My parents loaned me the money. I was between jobs, corporate jobs, and no pun intended with jobs. And I wanted to become a graphic designer, and I talked my parents into helping me buy an Apple computer, a desktop, and a black and white printer. And can you imagine the price of my first Mac that sat on the desk that was big and kind of clunky? What do you think it cost? What do you think I
I
paid for
guess
the whole setup?
I'm gonna say at least 3,500.
Oh, honey, it was $10,000 for the Mac and the printer. It was $10,000 plus change. And this was from CompUSA or one of those
Yeah.
big stores. And yes, that was quite an investment. I think I eventually paid them back, but that was the start. I have owned so many. I think I have two or three all-in-one Macintoshes in boxes in my closet. I don't get rid of them too often, and they come with me whenever I move. I've got I've got the studio now, and I've
Yeah.
got the monitor with the studio, plus a 27-inch, what have I got? An LG screen attached to it. But I have another Mac behind me on the other side of the desk that's still functional. I think I have two in the closet. I'm waiting for my gold watch from Apple. I know. If you know how many Apple Care products I have bought over the years with the phones, I'm on the iPhone upgrade program every year. Do you use that?
Oh, I don't, and only because I took last year off actually. But I'm thinking
Oh,
about it. Yeah, because I almost always upgrade. So why
I
not?
I upgrade and they tell you by the time you've paid off your 11th or 12th payment on the program that you're in, they say now you've got whatever you need and we will close that loan. It's with
Hmm.
whatever bank it is, and that you reapply and they open the loan, the phone comes in the mail and you set it up, you know how to do it, and you save everything on your phone to the cloud and then you load it in. It sometimes takes a few minutes, sometimes takes an hour, and you're ready to go. And then they send you a little box, a kit, and you put the label on and you send the other phone back, and they say, yes, we
Hmm.
received it. It's just about seamless. It's lovely.
Yeah.
And so I'm still an Apple fan. I had to use a PC once for one company I worked with, and I said, "Oh my God, I'm so disloyal." But I'm an Apple fan, and I know it costs more, but I've always felt it was a better way to navigate around, and we didn't have to go with what window and all the dashes and the slashes and all that stuff. Anyway,
Yeah.
what's your second story, and then I'll share mine. What's your second wacky story?
So this one, I don't think you loved when I share it with you, but I gotta go with it anyway, right?
All right,
So, and it's not wacky, but it's pretty amazing.
it's
So,
not a snake, is it? Because I had a guest who
no,
wanted to do a snake last week, and I said, no, we can't show that. I would slither away. I'd pass out. So, no. Okay, you can tell whatever yours is. What is it?
this is cool. So I'm based in Miami, and Miami Beach is considering when they are about to tow a car, let's say it's in a wrong zone or whatever, right?
Yep.
They're considering they'll write you a ticket because you're never getting out of a ticket anyway, and not Miami. They'll write you a ticket, but they will send you essentially a text message, right? Now, I think they're going to create this new system, so chances are the phone number will be linked to the license plate or something of that nature. They'll send you a text message. You'll get a 15-minute reprieve so you can come move your car before it's towed.
15 minutes.
So
Okay.
I'd say it's pretty good. If you're a resident, they have your number on file. They'll shoot you
Yeah.
a text. I think it's amazing because it'll cost you $200 if it gets towed on top of the ticket because you're not getting out of the ticket. So you got
Yep.
a $75 ticket plus the tow, and then you got to take time out of your day to go down to the tow place to go get it. So
Yep.
that's amazing.
I think that's interesting. Well, I'll give you one. I'm going to share three very quickly visuals here, but I moved to an HOA/POA community here in Tennessee, East Tennessee. I won't tell you exactly where I am. And a couple months after I moved in, I had a visit from the POA. A truck parked on an angle in front of my house, so everybody knew he was here. There's an easement in front with gravel, so people can come and park even if they're not visiting me. Maybe the people next door, around the corner. So it's not a parking lot, but it's just some extra space. So the truck parks at an angle, which means, he's here, but he's not here. I don't know. And I'm watching out the window of my office. And he gets out of his truck, young man, and he rings the doorbell and he says, "Hi, you're in violation." I said, "Violation of what?" He said, "Your lawn is 3/4 of an inch too high." I said, "What? Excuse me, what? What?" He said, "Oh, yeah." I said, "Well, it rained the day of the lawn mowing last week and the lawn mowing company didn't come to anybody." He said, "Well, you've got 10 days." And he gave me a written notice of
Wow,
violation. Well, that was okay. I was shocked and I asked him his name and what he did. He was a former policeman, which made sense.
makes a lot of sense.
Made sense. And 4 days later, I'm in the supermarket and I get a call and it was the same young man. I said, "Listen, we have to stop me. What's the matter?" He said, "You have a little tree on the corner." I'm on a corner property, little tree on the corner. And three ladies said they almost had a fatal car accident turning the corner out of your block. I said, "That's so funny because I drive and I left my driveway and went to that corner and turned the corner and I didn't have a problem seeing around the corner anyway." He said, "Well, it's in violation. It's a little too high. You have to trim that little forsythia bush on the corner." So I came home
Gosh,
and I did. I did. And about a month later, a woman's driving by in the cross street on the side of my property. And she stops in her van and she says, "Hi, are you Bonnie?" I said, "Yeah." And she said, "I'm so and so." I said, "Hi, nice to meet you." And she said, "I'm the one who turned you in." I said, "What?" She said, "I'm the one who reported you because I've had trouble." And I said, "But you don't even live on my block." She said, "Well, I'm visiting a friend and I'm coming out and I can't see around the little
oh my
tree on the,
gosh,
it's a bush. It's like
yeah.
3 feet tall." And she said, "It's just at the edge of the corner where you can't see around it." So I said, "Well, thank you for letting me know." So she drove a little farther and I waved to somebody on that block. And this woman came over, the other lady, and stopped the woman in the van. And she said, Bonnie's a nice person and she just moved here. Would you please welcome her and be a little nicer and stop reporting her to the POA?
So annoying.
Every time I see the truck go by, I get scared. It's like, what? Are we in violation now? Okay, so let me share my three stories and we'll make this quick because I know you have to go. Sharing screen number one here. I think you'll enjoy these. Here we go. Let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this. Okay, too much going on. All right. We have a lot of international idioms, like it's all Greek to me.
Mhm.
Did you know that came from Act One, Scene Two of Julius Caesar, performed in 1599?
No
Cassius
idea.
said, did Cicero say anything? Aye, he spoke Greek. To what effect? Nay, and I can tell you, I ne'er look you in the face again, but those that understood him smiled at one another and shook their heads. But for mine own part, it was Greek to me. It goes back that far, and the Czechs, the Germans, the Greeks, and the Bulgarians have their own version. This one I love the most. Pardon my French, excuse my French, apologizing for using. We've heard that, right, John?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
this, why don't we say pardon my Spanish or excuse my Italian? Apparently, it was used metaphorically in 1895 Harper's Weekly in discussion with an American tourist. Do not the palaces interest you? I asked inquiringly. Palaces be durned, excuse my French. Nearly 100 years later, one of the most memorable uses was in the 1986 film Ferris Bueller's Day Off, when Cameron, Ferris's best friend, said, pardon my French, but you're a asshole. While on the phone with the dean of students, Ed Rooney. I thought you'd like that. When in Rome, do as the Romans do, going Dutch. Going Dutch. If somebody is, you're all paying your own, I don't know how your marriage is going to work and dating work, but it originated from the French phrase Dutch treat or Dutch lunch or supper. The Pennsylvania Dutch tradition of bringing their own food to potlucks. So the idiom going Dutch is slightly newer, dates back to 1914. One goes back to Egypt when the pyramids were being built. It took 4,000 pounds of meat to feed the laborers. There were over tens of thousands of laborers. What do you think of that? Interesting?
Wow. It's super interesting. Yeah.
Yep. They were
First
housed.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off is classic. So
Yep.
that's number one.
And
And this is super interesting.
pyramids are classic too. So they were housed in nearby villages. In the villages, researchers uncovered more than 175,000 animal bones and fragments. Interesting. They ate cattle, goats, and sheep along with beer and grains. This was a study by the University of Michigan in 2013. I thought that was cool. And one more story. Why were old bridges covered? We know the old covered bridge and the adaptation, the bridges in Madison County. Oh, did I cry when I watched that? Our bridges are landmarks, and what led to their proliferation? And the answer was that bridges that were covered preserved the quality of the wood from things like deterioration to the elements over the years. Uncovered wooden bridges might last 20 years, but some of America's original covered bridges, like the one in New York's Glimmerglass State Park, remain intact almost 200 years after being built. What do you think of that, John?
It's pretty amazing too.
Pretty
I
cool.
didn't
And
know
then
that.
they have something called kissing bridges. Well, the bridges covering were primarily a form of protection. They became symbols of the communities that built them. They were
Hmm.
gathering places and inspired local lore, such as the tradition of couples sharing a covert kiss under the roof, inspiring the name Kissing Bridges. And this is a picture from stock of a covered bridge. What do you think of that? Pretty cool beans?
Yeah, that's really, really cool.
Those are my
200
three.
years old, it's a bridge. That's amazing.
I know, I know. So people thought they just, it was cool. You put a cover on it. Well, there were beams and trusses and everything underneath the structure,
Hmm.
but they covered them. And people thought originally that it was because animals going across, being walked across like cattle, were
Hmm.
afraid of the noise of the water underneath. Well, that was apocryphal. It might have been true, but that wasn't the main reason. So there. So John, we're making our time very well here. This is one of my shortest Cool Dude shows, and I'm very appreciative. Can you tell us where the wedding is going to be or any big plans? Honeymoon? You want to
Yeah,
share a
it's
little bit?
yeah, it's in Miami. So it'll be here in Miami, Florida. Honeymoon, we're gonna go to Morocco. So super excited. Neither one of us have been, so it's gonna be pretty exciting.
What kind of sights do you see in Morocco these days? What are you looking for? Where are you
We're
traveling?
gonna we're gonna do Casablanca, we're gonna do Marrakesh, yeah, and then we'll do like some of the part of the coast too. I just think it'll be amazing just to check out the architecture, the food, and just learn more about the culture, firsthand.
Absolutely. And is your wedding going to be a big gig, or is it going to be private,
Oh,
small?
yeah, it's pretty small. It's about 60 folks, so pretty small. Yeah. But
I
we're
think
we're excited though. There's all these ways you can do it, but I think when you do it in an intimate way, it just means more. So he froze a bit.
John, are you there?
Oh, there we go.
Go
Yes, I'm
ahead.
here.
Where did you meet your spouse? Is this a story you want to share with us?
Yeah, we met via friends actually. Yeah, so we met via friends, and have been together now for a while, since about early 2020 or late 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been great. Very
Wonderful.
happy.
Good. Well, I'm going to thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate this. So close to the big day. I wish you a lifetime of happiness and wonderment and love and excitement and curiosity. Will your parents still around? Will they be there?
My dad is still around. My mom passed away a few years ago, so yeah, he'll be taking part in everything. No, I appreciate that though. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. That sounds lovely. I'm going to play the outro music. Let's do this and then stick around and talk to me for 2 minutes. We've got a couple minutes
Okay.
left. So thank you to John W. It's been just
Thank you.
delightful having you as one of my cool dudes. I'm honored. Here we go. You hear it?
I hear it. I
Let's
like it.
dance. Let me see those wedding dance moves. Come on, John. Let me see. Let's get you ready.
I just remember that song I was telling you about too.
Yes.
Peru.
Yep.
Check it out.
We got one viewer on YouTube right now. Whoever you are, hello, goodbye. Here we go. So you want to be happy like John W. Bop, 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 bop. Thank you to Serge Hoffman who put the music to my words, and thank you so much to John W. Bonnie D signing off. We're going to